Oh, howdy all, grab yourselves a beer, it is time for some Path of Exile discussion. You might notice that I'm sitting in Einhar's Menagerie with a whole bunch of Pharric Chieftain caged beasts. And the reason for that is that there's been a little interesting economic shift that's happened in the last week of the Path of Exile Harvest League. And that is that the much forgotten Badge of the Brotherhood unique amulet has soared to pretty explosive prices. At one point today, a few hours before I'm recording this, it actually pipped Headhunter as the most expensive item in the league. Now that's shifted back, and Badge of the Brotherhood's still a couple of exalts less than the Headhunter, but they're pretty close to a fair trade for each other. So what makes this amulet good? Essentially, it's the last line. Your maximum frenzy charges is equal to your maximum power charges. If you're playing an assassin build, it's easy to get the ladder number up to 7 or 8, and potentially even higher than that. You can get it as high as 10, and maybe even higher than that with a lot of investment. So what this is essentially doing is granting you, if you've got 8 as your maximum power charges, it's granting you an extra 5 maximum frenzy charges. The other that gives you a lot of attack speed, a lot of cast speed, and also some additional damage. The other stats on it are pretty solid too. It has a couple of little drawbacks where you have a chance to lose charges, but those are pretty low chances. And especially on an assassin, the chance to lose a power charge is pretty much irrelevant because you get them back so fast. Then you have this powerful line, increased effect of elusive on you per power charge. So that can easily be as much as 80% increased effective elusive on you. That's a really powerful line, makes you harder to hit, and also grants you considerable dodge, which is a huge bonus. So this is a really powerful item. And you'll see that these prices are real. It's not like this is something where there's been a bunch of manipulation that's been going on. The demand for this item is simply higher than the available supply. So why is it that it's so rare? Well, the only ways that you can get it, because it's a Blight League exclusive amulet, there's not very many ways to actually acquire it. You can't use Zana's mod to force Blight onto a map anymore. That's simply not an option in 3.11. And additionally, the only other sources of it are sources of what we term Time Worn uniques. So this is ones that ignore normal league-specific drop restrictions. And the Bestiary altar is a good source of this. So I'm going to bring up one of the recipe to create a unique amulet at random. And so here I've got my Dread Crusher. This is one beast I found myself. I then traded for the others. And now at this point, I'm just going to fight this. If I can actually make a fireball hit. That was only a low level beast, so it was a very, very easy one. And now we'll go and have a look, and we'll get Narantu Tiki. Now, the way that these beasts work, when you've got anything that has a random unique from Bestiary, what you will get is dependent upon the item level of the rare beast that that's involved. So this puts some limitations on what can be rolled. Here we're using a level 81 beast. That pretty much means you can get anything. Might help if I actually pay attention to the fight. Just let him burn to death. And the other factor that matters is that these do not respect the results that you get from the Blood Altar recipes. They do not respect the normal drop restrictions on an item unless the item only comes from a boss. However, they do respect the item's rarity. And it must be said that Badge of the Brotherhood is not a very common item. So I've bought a few beasts, but I don't have particularly high hopes of getting one off this 7. However, I do think that these beasts were ridiculously cheap at 14 chaos each. The slim chance of getting a Badge of the Brotherhood is actually should be worth more than that, because it's not a staggeringly rare item, even though there are a lot of possible amulets. Anyway, so that's just one little thing I've noticed about this league economy. I will continue running all the rest of these beasts, and if I find what I'm looking for, then I will jump up and down like a crazy person. And if I don't, well, you can laugh at me in the chat as I say goodbye to about 100 chaos worth of beasts. Ungol's Harmony, fantastic, just what I didn't want. One thing you can't get out of this is any of the Prophecy upgraded uniques, and there's quite a few of those in the amulet slot. So if you have a look, there's about 55 different unique amulets from memory, but you'll see that there's that a lot of them are actually prophecy upgrades. These monsters have the stats that they had when they were found in a map. A lot of these, because I bought them, I haven't fought them before, so I don't know if they're going to be particularly nasty or not. But usually the Beast Crafting Altar, it's pretty easy. Retaliation Charm, this is one that I haven't seen in a very long time. I don't actually know what that's from. I don't think it's worth anything, but it is just something a bit different. Is that one of the new items? Anyway, we will see what we get here. One thing that's interesting there, all those sparks were causing a little bit of a nuisance. If you do die here and you're in softcore, you will miss out on the rewards of that particular beast, but that's all. The other thing that's worth checking while you're here at the Blood Altar is belts. If you've got any of those, they have a very slim chance of being a headhunter. Of course, that's always worth your while. Most of the rest of the stuff here is pretty valueless unless it's one of the premium crafts. So some of the premium crafts that are worth knowing about, split an item into two with half the mods on each item, is the Phenomenal Plagued Arachnid. This is extremely valuable. Create an imprint of a magic item, which is the Krykic Chimeral, is extremely valuable. And those are the top two, as well as creating portals to Venomous' Lair and Farrell's Den are the other two that you should keep an eye out for. Anyways, if you've got any comments or questions, fire away below. Otherwise, good luck. May you find better loot in the beast area than I did. And it'll be interesting to see if everyone uses up all of their random amulets from beast crafting that you undoubtedly have a couple of already. Because it's not that rare a reward. Some of you will get it, and it will probably start reducing the price on this powerful build enabling item. That's all I got. I hope you have a good one.